it's perfect, but it will challenge you when you're trying to paddle into the wave. It's going to push on you a bit. You really have to stay committed.
Yeah, and there you see heat number 1 going to be hitting the water and starting up momentarily with Alex Ribeiro, Gony Zubizarreta, Ricardo Christie, as well as Noah Mizuno, the young junior from right here in Honolulu. But he's going to set himself up for campaign 2017, and here he goes setting himself up for his opening ride. This is Ricardo Christie off the bottom, beautiful looking sunset wave, nice arc off the top, and hits the lip again, surfing relatively safe but smart, and then kicks out rather than going for that closing maneuver, Ross.
He could have proved you wrong by hitting that lip, and he said no thank you. Yeah, that's the deal today. You know, it's big out there. It's way bigger than that first round. So if you're going to hit the lip on a wave like that right there that we saw Ricardo kick out of, odds are you're going to get beat down. The wave just has so much power. Nice little rail check right there that, you know, again, today, Kaipo, you know, this is the first wave of the event this morning. And it's an example of what's going to happen in terms of the perfect part of the wave today is in the first 50 yards. You know, it's that perfect, notorious outside west peak.
Speaking of Alex Ribeiro, a lot of opportunity for him. He passes that one up. Ricardo Christie in the white jersey says, yes, I'll take it. And with a nice, beautiful swoop from the Kiwi off the bottom again. Another arcing turn. Looking steady. Now he's going to go for the closer on this one. Hits it and rides out through that sandwiching section there. So that's a complete ride, and he's going to build on that 3.83 that he started with.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a big score for Ricardo. And again, not really trying to get too fancy. You're not going to see any sliding maneuvers today. It's all about cutting through the water, using a lot of power and rail. And Ricardo Christie, nothing groundbreaking there, but very solid. And this opening turn right here. Love this view here. You can see the size of the wave here, straight on. Second turn, maybe a little more rail. Look at that, extended through that carve. And then decided right here, he said, you know what, I'll just hit it. Threw a little bit of caution into the wind and hung on for dear life. So again, a little bit tentative on this wave in general. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a mid-7, something like that. You know, it's a big set wave, some solid rail surfing. You know, he delivered. I don't think he shied away from that last section. I think the judges will appreciate that, Kipes.
Exactly. Case in point right there in your own career here. So you can actually feel the emotion and the drama that happens here as we see Gony Zubizarreta, Gonzilo off the bottom. Little sneaky snap mid-face. Throws the tail for turn number 2 with a little bit more aggression and progression and rides out of that. So that was kind of cool.
I think we heard Pete Mel and Chris Cote say we're not going to see any tail sides today. And whoa, Gony just kind of threw one out there.
No bobble at all. Here we go. This is going to be the first chance we're going to see it for Alex Ribeiro. Goofy foot out of Praia Grande, Brazil. Nice little start for him, hooking off the top squares off the bottom. Another arcing turn, looking for the closed maneuver, and gets it. Gets to the lip early, little lip glide, and rides out handedly. So they're going to score that.
Wow, not bad, huh, Kaipo? He hit that lip, that end section.
Timed it.
The guys are still delivering a maneuver right up in there. So I like it. You know, it's small enough today to where you can still perform. Obviously, Gony going for a tail side. And so here's Alex Ribeiro from Brazil. As you mentioned, Kaipo, a couple of nice turns. This one a little better, just, you know, throwing a little more weight behind it. And then even though it was a soft off the lip, he hit that last section. So it should be an okay score. And there's a nice little under the lip path there, just setting it up. And watch the tail. He actually did slide the tail. That might be the only one we'll see all day. I don't think that judges are going to get really freaked out about like a progressive maneuver. More about just, hey, he did some damage into the lip. But watch the tail block. You know, for sunset on a 6 to 8 foot day, a couple of 10-footers, I don't know if we're going to see many tail sides. He's actually was pretty steezy on that thing too. He got his knees down at the deck of the board. And our lone local boy in the lineup right now in yellow, the young Noah Mizuno, just caught a half a point ride and did the old paddle around. You know, and that happens a lot here. So basically 20 minutes of his heat was spent getting hammered and washed around and paddling back out. But look at the patience. It finally paid off for him. A couple of smooth turns there on his backhand. Wow. And then a closeout maneuver that was not too bad either, throwing some spray. So just under the lip, you'll see that a lot. That first section's gnarly. It's big, it's hollow. But he made up for it with that second move. Got a little more under the hook there and got that rail knifing through the water. So a pretty nice backside gouge there for Noah. and he strung together a handful of maneuvers. So, but just a 4.10 for Noah.
Good looking kids, great surfing kids, great family from Kauai. Here we go, Gony, Zubizarreta on a bigger wave here. Has to get around this whitewater section. And it does taper off, looking for something more to farm up, and he's going to have to relinquish to a couple cutbacks and probably a closing maneuver here. Stays on his feet, kicks on the channel, so that was cool. Better than a 1 that he has in the barrel. And no exit for white Ricardo Christie. Good looking kids, great surfing kids, great family from Kauai. Here we go, Gony, Zubizarreta on a bigger wave here. Has to get around this whitewater section. And it does taper off, looking for something more to farm up, and he's going to have to relinquish to a couple cutbacks and probably a closing maneuver here. Stays on his feet, kicks on the channel, so that was cool. Better than a 1 that he has in the barrel. And no exit for white Ricardo Christie.
Wow, that must have looked incredible from Ricardo when he was bottom turning. That wave had perfect shape. We're coming off a high tide right around 5 a.m. Kaipo. It was pretty full. It was about 1.7 feet. But for the rest of the day, it's pretty low. The tide doesn't do much. It's pretty slack. We see Gony here coming around. Again, that's where all the meat and potatoes are in this wave. That A-frame, that big old west peak on the outside. But you can see once it's done unloading, it does taper off. The cool thing is there is a bonus section on the inside right now, and it's been delivering for the guys. They've been hitting that last section. Right there's that barrel, but as soon as it went past that A-frame, that deep water effect that Sunset Beach is known for starts to happen, and that barrel will start to shut down.
Still surfs super good. I've known that man since we're both 12 years old. And actually my first trip to California was staying at the Silva House. Here we go, 1.76 the requirement for Alex Ribeiro. Nice off the top. Little carve after that. It would be really good for his cause if he can close this out standing on his feet, and he does so, and he knows that he got that score that he needed. Heat leader, this is not going to factor into the results because he's already winning this heat, Ricardo Christie. So with that last wave, I'm anticipating Alex Ribeiro going into second place and advancing. Of course, we don't know that until the judges punch the scores into our computerized scoring system. It appears on our screen, but it looks like he got the job done, Ross. We'll wait for official, but it looks like Alex Ribeiro is moving on, along with Ricardo Christie, the New Zealander and the Brazilian, on to round number 3 to meet the top seeds.